Hey Red fam, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Gimme Red and I'm back with another video. So today I am doing a personal story that I want to share with you guys. It's a very personal. I know we don't let people in, but I'm gonna try. Okay, I just want to share this with y'all. Maybe this could help somebody else who went through this or is going through this. So yeah, this is my story. It's kind of hard for me to talk about, so yeah. But like I said, I'm just gonna share this with y'all. So before I get started, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. If you aren't subscribed, check out some more videos. See if you like it and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Turn on your bell so you can get notifications when I upload my next video. Alright, so let me say what I'm eating here. So I got a bottle of water, as you can see. I got some cheesy grits. It's a lot of grits, I know. And I got some fish. This is fried flounder that I made last night. And I'm using it for breakfast today. And then I got these Rainer cherries. These cherries are bomb. They're called Rainer cherries. So yeah, so I'm just going to get into this and I'm going to start talking. Thank you, Lord, for this food. Thank you, Lord, for making me healthy to prepare this meal. All right, and thank you for all the blessings and everything, Lord, that you have given me. I want to enjoy this food. Thank you, Lord, for letting me enjoy this food. Thank you, Lord, for letting me have the funds to prepare this meal, to buy these products and prepare this meal. And I leave everything in your hands, Lord. Thank you for this meal. Amen. So I'm not good at praying, you know, but okay. So I was a young mother and I had Kyla when I was 17. I got pregnant with her at 16. Had her at 17. Me and her sperm donor split. That's when I met my husband in 2006. Kyla was 6 months old at this point. My husband is all she knows. That's her father. Fast forward, 2007. I get pregnant by my husband. And, you know, I'm pregnant, I'm happy. We, you know, a couple or whatever. At the time, I was living with my mom still. I hadn't moved out yet. I was living with my mom. My husband was living in Brooklyn. I think at 20 weeks. They do Down syndrome testing. Now this is back in 2007. So I think that's between 15 and 20 weeks they do Down syndrome testing. So I went for the Down syndrome test. I'm a lot skinnier then, so I'm got a nice little belly. Baby's moving and everything was good. And I go for the Down syndrome testing when I'm about between 15 and 20 weeks. I think I was 20 weeks already. Tests come back abnormal for the Down syndrome testing. So, this fish is so good. So, they come back abnormal and we have to go to a specialist for, what is it called? We have to go to a specialist, genetic counseling. We have to go to genetic counseling. They talk to us. They tell us, you know, that the levels were high in the blood work for the Down syndrome testing. So we go to genetic counseling, we go to the specialist, and they do some more testing. Something's still not right. So we go to, we stay there. They want to do an amniocentesis. So an amniocentesis is pretty much them trying to, the amniotic fluid, amniotic sac. They're trying to take out amniotic fluid out of the amniotic sac where the baby is. So it's a big needle that they put, you know, through your stomach. They numb your stomach. They put the needle through your stomach, and they extract amniotic fluid out of your stomach, out of the amniotic sac where the baby is. So they do a sonogram, and then you can see, I watched it, you can see the needle go inside, and the baby was like hitting the needle, like he was like, get it out. He was like, what are you doing? You in my space, like what's wrong with you? He was dead ass just hitting it. So they took the amniotic fluid out. They ran the test. I think I went home. So let me tell you what it is. So my baby was diagnosed with spina bifida. All right. So I'm gonna describe this all later, but I'm just trying to steer y'all to where I'm going. Okay. So what they was looking for, because some levels in the blood work when they did the testing, the Down syndrome testing was off. So that gave them suspicion that something else was going on. So, all right, my camera is giving me, you know, that facial recognition. All right, maybe it's following my hand. I was about to get scared. That facial recognition, that's like a box where it follows your face around. It's not on my face, it's right here. So it's like, what is over here that is seeing a face? I don't got time for this. Better get out of here. Now the box is gone. I can't. So something was off in the Down syndrome testing, which caused them to do for us to go to get genetic counseling and go get an amniocentesis or whatever, do extra testing. What they was looking for in the amniocentesis is spina bifida is a spinal defect. Spinal defect where there's a hole. It's literally a hole in your spinal cord. It could be up high or down low, or anywhere on your spinal cord. It's a hole in the spinal cord, and then it's a hole in like the membrane of the spinal cord. So I'm gonna try to put up pictures and stuff like that as I'm talking. It's a hole in the spinal cord, and some of the spinal cord it bulges out. So you have the spine, all that stuff is open, and the spinal cord's bulging out. So like I said, I'm going to So let me get a medical definition of spina bifida. So spina bifida, let me save this picture so you can see. I'm going to save this picture because I'm going to put it in. So spina bifida is a birth defect in which a developing baby's spinal cord fails to develop properly. It occurs when a developing baby's spinal cord fails to develop or close properly while in the womb. So like their spinal stuff, it just don't close properly, and then the spinal cord nerves and stuff bulges out. So when that happens, stuff that's in the spine, like stuff that's in the spinal cord, stuff that's in the spinal cord can they can see whatever stuff that was in the spinal cord is not supposed to be in the amniotic fluid. So that stuff will be in the amniotic fluid, and that's how they know. So that's what the doctor told me, at least. We at the doctor, they do the amniocentesis. They tell me they ran the test, and it take like a week or whatever for the test to come back to see if there's spina bifida or whatever. So a week goes by, they call me into the office. Now my husband, he lives in Brooklyn, so that I'm just going back to get the results. I'm not thinking nothing, whatever. So I go back, they call me back, you need to come in for the results. So I come in for the results, and they tell me the baby does in fact have spina bifida. they tell me he has like one of the more severe versions of spina bifida. His spina bifida was on the lower back. They said that he he wouldn't be able to walk. He'd be paralyzed from the waist down. He also had hydrocephaly. If you don't know what hydrocephaly is, hydro is water, cephaly is brain. So he had water on his brain. They showed us the sonogram of his brain, and it was definitely a nice layer of water in his brain. Mind you, I'm like 19. I already got a kid. My daughter's 2. My baby father of this child lives in Brooklyn. I'm on Long Island. We live like an hour, 2 hours away from each other. You know, we're young. This is his first child. That's my second. I still live with my mother. So, and I'm there by myself because I'm not thinking like shit about to hit the fan. So, they tell me what the risks are. I'm like, well, you know, he's gonna be paralyzed or whatever. They're saying his brain wouldn't be like, he would be pretty much like mentally disabled because of the hydrocephaly. Because a lot of people live with spina bifida. A lot of them don't walk, but it's a lot of people that live with spina bifida. Like, they go to school, they just in wheelchairs and stuff, you know. And they do everything else that everybody do. But because he had the hydrocephaly, and what happened is, because it was so low on his back, they have these things called meninges that connect. It's like, it comes from the spinal cord, but it's on the brain. So the meninges, that's why they have this thing called meningitis, because it's called meninges. It's like little nerves that's connected to the brain, or the brain. And all that, the nerves and the meninges run down the spine, and being that his was so low and it was so severe, poking out the back, his back, it was pulling on his brain to go back, and then what caused him to get hydrocephaly. So then I asked, okay, so he can live with this? They was like, he probably won't make it past 4 years old. If we tried it, if we did, you know, he probably won't make it past 4 years old. He would probably be mentally challenged, mentally disabled. He would be paralyzed. He would have to wear a diaper all his life. He would have to get surgeries. The first surgery would be to close up the spine. That would be the first surgery. You know, he was in 2 surgeries when he's born. He had to get surgery to close up his spine. He had to get surgery to put a shunt in his head, connecting to his chest to relieve the water, the fluid that's on his brain or whatever, and it would put it back into his chest. So those are 2 surgeries that he would have to go under right out the gate when he's born. Then so now I'm sitting there like, okay, like, okay, all right. I'm not expecting this, you know. My options: I can keep the baby, have the baby, and see how it plays out. But on the most part, he has a severe form of this, and all of the risks, you know, that he would have to do, the surgeries, all that stuff, him not living to 4. That's what I would have to deal with. Or I can have a medical abortion. So that was the decision that me and my husband, boyfriend at the time, had to come to. So I went home. And mind you, I was taking the bus, so I wasn't Like I said, I was still with my mother. I was 19. So, took the bus back, on the phone with him, telling him everything. He don't know what to do. He's just going crazy. Oh, and mind you, because I was 20 weeks, I put down it was 21 weeks. If I was going to have the medical abortion, I had to do it that day. Yeah. I had to make the decision that day. I had to come back by 5 o'clock. Okay, so he's in Brooklyn. I'm on Long Island. We have this whole dilemma. We just was having a healthy pregnancy. All of this happened within a week. And then they tell me I have to do it that day, otherwise I can't do it. I can't go no further because it'd be too late, you know, in the state of New York, whatever. Because I'm 21 weeks, I think. So, we talk. We go back and forth. We go back and forth. I'm 19. I already got a daughter. That's 2. I'm just starting to get my life, like, really together. Like I said, I was a young mother. I wasn't working at the time because I was pregnant. And I was with my mother. He was living in Brooklyn. So, you know, financially it was already hard because we were far apart. I wasn't working. He was working. It was just his income at that time. With just a healthy baby, it would have been financially hard, you know. And then on top of it, now you got a baby that's going to have all these medical issues. That's a strain. So I'm thinking about that. You know, I didn't want to do, I wish I could just stand still and just had more time to make the decision. And this is why I feel like they should be doing these testing a lot earlier, which they do now. My niece, when she was pregnant with her son, I found out that they do it a lot earlier. But then they wasn't doing it earlier, or maybe it was the doctor that I was going to. I don't know. And we came with the decision. He talked to his mother, prayed with his mother. And I felt like I don't want to bring my child into the world suffering like that. It's already enough suffering on this world, and then to bring him in here and he don't even have like a fighting chance, you know. So he don't even have a fighting chance. So I wasn't trying to do that to him, you know. I was not. So when my husband said, you know, this is what we gonna do, because this is his first child, you know, and this is what we're gonna do. That's what we did. So he found a way to come out from Brooklyn, and had my mother's friend dropped us off at the hospital. So we go to the hospital, made that decision to go to the hospital, and now I'm 20 weeks pregnant. Baby's moving. I'm halfway there. I have to have a labor now. So I have to have a labor. So they have to induce me. So they give me whatever the med is, to Pitocin, whatever it is that's supposed to induce you into labor. And then and they gave me medicine that was going to put the baby to sleep. And then I asked to be put to sleep. I asked them to give me something to go to sleep, because my nerves was just crazy. I just wanted to go to sleep. I just wanted to to be over at this point. So my husband's being there, being supportive. I'm trying to stay strong for him. He's trying to stay strong for me. And the baby goes to sleep. I go to sleep. So when I woke up, they told me it was time to push. So I pushed. And had him. I took him, cleaned him up, put a little hat, little gown on him. We held him. You know, spent some time with him, held him. And that was that. So, that was May 27th, 2007. They gave us pictures and his little cat and gown they had put on him. And put it in a little box. I held onto that box for a while. And then we moved. And I lost the box. I don't know what happened to that box. I stayed in the hospital overnight. They discharged me. And I went home. So, and I went through everything like I had a baby. I was producing milk. You know, after you have the baby, your boobs get engorged because the milk, like everything, like I had labor. I was having contractions, everything, like for this. So that was not good. So we call him the first RJ. So that's what we call him because he was going to be, you know, Rod Jr. So so we called him the first RJ. And then 2 years later, I had RJ. And y'all know RJ. So he just came back to me. And, oh, I was so scared. Every time I get pregnant, I get scared because there's a possibility. It's a high possibility that it could happen again. It's a spinal defect. They say that lack of folic acid can contribute to this, and I always kind of hold myself responsible because after I had Kyla, they told me in the hospital to take folic acid. My folic acid was low, and I took it, you know, right after I came home from the hospital after I had Kyla. And then after that, I was like, yeah, I have no more kids. I didn't, you know, I wasn't planning on no more kids. I'm not thinking about it, but I still hold myself guilty that happened to my baby or whatever. But I feel like when I had RJ, he came back to me. He came back to us. Every time I get pregnant, I have to go to genetic counseling. I don't have to get the amniocentesis unless, you know, stuff is off. But when I had RJ, genetic counseling, they did sonograms, all this other stuff. Everything came back normal. Every time it's a routine that I have to go to genetic counseling. Every time I get pregnant. And every time I get pregnant, like, it puts me right back in that scared space. Like, I don't want this to happen again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, I just want to share that with y'all. It's a little bit heavy for me to think about, to talk about. But RJ came back, you know. And like I said, every time I get pregnant, I have to, you know, it's a mental fuck that, to me, that just comes over me, and I'm getting scared because I don't want that to happen again, you know. And I go to genetic counseling with RJ, and I'm praying and I'm praying, and I'm just like, oh my God, I don't want this to happen. My husband's like, it's not gonna happen again. It's like, at this time, we're living together now. We have our own house or whatever, our first house together. And he was good. Like, he was good, you know. But as a precaution, they have to, you know, send us to genetic counselor. So every time I have a pregnancy with Raiden, I had to do the same thing. With my last one with Raiden, same thing. 5 years later, I had Raiden. I got pregnant with Raiden. Had to go to genetic counseling, you know. And that going to genetic counseling, that just brings up all the memories, the fears, the anxiety. That just brings it up, you know, on top of already being pregnant. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you already hormonal and already, you know, bugging sometimes when you're pregnant, and then just to have that extra fear on top of it is crazy. So, but Raiden came out fine too. When I had Raiden, his ears was like bent. It was like stuck like this, and he wasn't passing his ear test. Like, they did his ear test they did his ear test like crazy dumb times. Like, they did that shit bad times, and he was not passing that ear test. And my husband was at work. My brother-in-law, he was watching the kids for us, but my husband was working and coming back and forth to the hospital or whatever. So my husband was asleep because he had the double shift. So he was asleep or whatever, and I'm on the phone with my husband. on the phone with my brother-in-law, and was like, yo, wake him up. The baby cannot hear. Like, I don't know what's going on. His ears is bent. Like, I'm going in. I'm like, oh my God, there's something wrong with my baby's ears. Wake him up. Why is he fucking asleep? Like, I'm going in. Something wrong. And that was already, I don't want nothing else to be wrong with my kid. Like, I already went through this one time. I don't want nothing else to be wrong with my kid. So, I think like a few hours before they was talking about discharging us and stuff like that, they did another hearing test and he passed. They said it was just probably still water in his ears. Yeah, I just wanted to get it out. It was a lot for me to talk to you guys about this, but I hope I don't get no haters or nobody's like, oh, you had an abortion, you could have had that baby. Like, everybody has their choice. I believe in God. And some people religion, some people whatever, they think it's wrong or whatever, but I believe in that's your body, it's your choice, and it's whatever you want to do. I believe in protection also. Just don't be out here, you know, banging everywhere with Tom, Dick, and Harry, and don't have no protection if you don't have no babies. Because, no. Like, that's why I stay on my birth control. But let's not get into that, because I don't want nobody politically coming after me. I don't want nobody coming after me about my opinions. I really don't, because I don't have the energy for that. But I didn't even touch my cherries. These cherries are so good. People outside being mad loud. So, rainier cherries, guys. So yeah, I want to thank y'all. If you comment down below and leave support and you leave supportive words, I will, you know, comment back, and I appreciate it ahead of time. This is a lot for me. I held it together though. I didn't cry. I almost did. A couple times did. Almost got me. But I'm good. Like I said, I still have my things that I battle with when it came down to that, but for the most part, I'm good. I have 3 healthy, beautiful children. So, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Yeah.